My beautiful stars, reading time. I wanted to do a clarity reading, but I think I'm going to do that on YouTube because I'm being called to get my sense of urgency deck. So let's just confirm. I'm hearing 2, but let's just confirm. 1. Okay, so from now till, we'll do a 24-hour. I was hearing 2 though. Let's just stick with 2. From next 48 hours. All right, right, collective. All right. So right now you could be stressing about something. You could be going through a bit of health anxiety for certain things or wanting to give up some certain things. But right now, this collective, I more feel maybe you're in a little bit of an overwhelmed state, or there could be coming something, oh gosh, in the next couple days that might really start to activate your overthinking mind. This was paired with liar, pants on fire. Be careful, someone is being a little bit sneaky. So there could be certain truths coming to surface within the next couple days. I'm seeing that caution, don't overwork yourself. This could be tied to an air sign. You could be an air sign, or this sneaky could be, but trapped in the mind over communication. So goes back to you, maybe, unfortunately, you might get a little bit trapped mentally with whatever this is. I always say sense of urgency readings are not all sunshine and roses, but let's get one more for your top row. Actually, I want one more for this air sign first, please. Yeah, caution, that's the card I was seeing. So whatever you're about to find out, try not to overwork yourself. But remember, for some of you, you could be in the middle of this right now, because remember I said from now till 48 hours, whoever this air energy is, or whoever you're trapped in the mind over communication with, you have felt used by this person in the past. So no wonder you, in your mind, internally, you see them to be a little bit sneaky, or they could be that kind of personality trait. Unfortunately, sometimes it's very, you kind of have to read between the lines. They present a little bit mysterious, secretive, suspicious, right? They don't make their intent very clear. So you've had to, in the past, with whatever this situation is, it's like you're always having to try and find the color in the situation with this person. If your internal is scarred from how this person has treated you, it's like all the same things are about to resurface. So feel your emotion, trust in your emotion. If it's overworking you, let the situation be until your body and your emotion fizzles down a bit. Don't act on impulse, okay? All right. Well, you're going to stress. So date night, prepare to be wined and dined. So if in your soul you see this person as sneaky, liar, pants on fire, and you have felt used in the past, this is coming to my mind for a reason. And I see this so much in when people have a broken heart. There's just this expectation, hearing from someone you've been longing for, that everything's going to be okay with one conversation. This right collective, internally, this person makes you feel off balance. So you shouldn't be wanting to push a date night anyway. If you feel off balance just from a phone call or from communication behind a screen, what makes you think seeing this person face to face for a date night is going to relieve how your internal is feeling? That needs to be soothed first. So if this person is just popping up, let's say it's a little bit more dry, you shouldn't be the one having to push to see this person, okay? This is coming to my mind for a reason. Whatever this is about seeing this person, this is what's going to make you start stressing. So just remember to breathe. Don't need to rush nothing. Liar, pants on fire. Maybe this person's in the process of moving, or if you're in the process of moving as well, maybe there's a little bit of lack of trust with this kind of area in your life. Maybe let's take this energy away from it. Maybe you yourself, you're starting to manipulate your thought pattern a little bit. if you were trying to move and you're kind of being met with obstacles, that can stress anyone out, and we can go straight to the negative. But also, this is about a change of residence, moving in with your partner. So maybe you lived with this person in the past to tie you to this specific person. I'm hearing a couple things with that. Why am I seeing my distant? Hold on, I want one more for that spy. I think it's more this person you used to live with has been in the background getting more research, but that could even tie to you in deciding to move. Maybe you need to, again, if you're being met with obstacles, kind of maybe look for a different location, or maybe you yourself need to get more information and try not to overwork your mind with whatever you have fear of with this next step of moving. That can confirm both. And if there was my distance card with that, maybe this person has actually either moved a little bit closer, or they've moved and they haven't mentioned this to you either. Air sign, caution. So things haven't been the right time, and even now it's not the right time to make an impulsive movement is what I'm hearing. One more for that. You could have a couple people. Now that I'm looking at these two rows, why do I feel like these are two different people? Patience. Whatever this row is, you've had a lot of patience with, and it may need a little bit more patience. This might take a few months to really get back on the same page. If you have someone returning in your life, and it doesn't just need to be love, it could be a friendship, even a family member that you've had broken trust with, and you have felt used by this person, or you only feel like this person comes around when they want something from you. That's not something easy to just overcome, okay? That might take some time, but they're saying good things come to those who wait. You know what I'm also hearing? I'm hearing I did a reading ages ago, and it was a blast from the past. Someone returning that kind of wasn't even on your energy radar. You didn't even want them to, like, you don't even think about this person. It's like the wrong person turned up is what I'm hearing. You could have an entry from someone you're not even expecting, and it might activate a thought pattern to actually someone you do want to hear about. But maybe there's a big lesson. I say lessons come in everything. Maybe there's a big lesson with how you treat this situation before this situation enters. Okay, that's come to my mind for a reason. I just want one more for this last row. Yeah, loves whoever. Okay, I feel this last row, you have felt very bewitched by this person for a long time, but I don't think you've had what you've wanted out of this situation. There's something with this last row. This hasn't been the right time for either of you. There hasn't been an energetic alignment, but there's clearly been an intensity of emotion. One more. Yeah, you right now, this last row, you're in the mind frame. This is over. This person's emotionally unavailable. They've shut the door here. Okay. I actually feel this row here is someone that has held a space in your heart for a long time, but I don't think this is what's coming in the next couple of days. I think you've got something that activates the thought pattern of this person again, especially if you have now put the door on this and you're like, no, I've just got to make healthier decisions. It's like having someone resurface it, like it's going to activate your heart space, but not for them, this person. And I think this is where, especially if you feel like you've really been clearing out this energy, it makes sense with these cards, because whatever's coming in the next couple days, it's going to get you trapped in the mind here. We're really going to have to break this down. Okay, I just want one more for this liar, pants on fire, and spy. Change of residence. Water sign. So this person could be a water sign. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Don't make it fit. I always say sense of urgency readings. All my readings, I always say discernment. Don't try and make the details fit. Just quickly before we break, I just want to confirm what I'm getting from this message. I want to see the right collective. What's going on with this person that you've shut the door on? Or you've been trying to shut the door on? So you do. You have felt strung along here. You've just felt like an option with this person. Yeah, you're high alert right now. So you might think that this person's put you in competition with someone, but this is about enemy clever. Look over your shoulder, the other woman, the other man. So maybe you know that this person, their heart is somewhere else. Maybe that's why you've had to close this off. I was more feeling the patience you've had here and maybe the silence, but as you're watching this, there is something clearly you're feeling used by, you have caution over, you have or are trying to shut that door. So there's a reason for it, okay? And if this is your mind frame towards that person, no wonder you're not in energetic alignment. I feel this collective, there's grievances in your heart because of this person. Wow, literally, seduction, third-party interference. Whoa, you could have been engaged to this person, or you could have been speaking of, future planning, or you could have found out this person got engaged to someone as well. And if this is what you guys were planning, and then this stuff came about, no wonder you would be feeling used and you would have caution over this. That makes complete sense. Strung along. So you've definitely put effort, a lot of effort. Maybe you were codependent to this person in the past, or codependent on their return. They definitely activated your abandonment and codependency triggers internally, okay? I feel this collective, you're finally starting to go into deep reflection with that person. I want to make it clear, I don't think it's that person that's coming around. I think there's still things that need to be energetically cleared. I actually think you have a spy that's entering that you've got no idea about. I don't think, and I'm going to confirm both when we get into the energy, I don't think it's this person moving forward, but I will confirm. Wow. So there's been a lot of obsession. No wonder you got the love spell. You have literally felt bewitched by this connection, even though there's been some form of betrayal and deceit here and suspicious tendencies. Why do I feel this collective? You have a bit of a repeated cycle of calling in these kinds of people when it comes to your heart space. If you have, and this is why I say you don't look at things so surface level in this world, because everything happens for a far greater reason. If this person that's about to enter or just has entered and taken you off guard and you're like, whoa, wasn't expecting to hear from you. If they embody a lot of the same kind of emotional traits, so whatever you experienced with this past person, there's some big valuable lessons to learn, because this person that's not on your energy radar, you have probably gone into deep reflection about their behavior and how you guys didn't align. But because there's no energetical connection anymore, they're like a lost thought in your mind. It will be quite easy for you to put up a boundary with that person because you know their behavior and their energy doesn't align with you, right? So see how you deal with that, because this collective, I feel this other person that you've craved and you've obsessed and you've chased, and I feel this person actually embodies very similar suspicious traits to this other person. But because even though you're trying to shut the door, it's like sometimes you fail to see the red flags of their behavior because your heart space is still tied. So if you can quite easily put up a boundary with this other person you're not even wanting to hear from, but when it comes to this person, you struggle on such a deep level, your higher self is trying to actually show you, you struggle to put up boundaries here. Because unfortunately, as much as you're trying to shut the door, they've activated some very deep set trauma in you. So are you tied to this person because you haven't had what you need to soothe these energies, right? So you still feel you're very invested in them. Do you know the right collective? You'll know what I'm trying to say. There's a far greater lesson for what's about to enter. So don't live in just the now and the like see the situation outside of the box. Because you've got 2 cards in a row about codependence on this other person, right? But again, if anything, this other person, I actually feel their behavior is actually more detrimental to your soul than this other person that you're going to be quite easy to put up boundaries with. There's a reason this is on pause and you're not aligning energetically right now. The right collective, even though you have all this strength right now in watching this, if you don't genuinely, because energy doesn't lie, have the strength to put yourself first and boundaries, it's like the universe is putting a wall here because this other person needs a few boundaries. They need to kick up the bottom. Seduction. Yeah, so your separation, so you parting ways, there could have been someone, it could have been like a layover. This person could have literally betrayed you, or this is something you've always thought in your mind. If you guys were planning this and it was just felt like a clean cut, clearly your poor little mind has tried to make sense of the whole situation. But for a long time, literally, for a long time, even with this thought pattern, there was such sadness, missing you, thinking about you, unsure of the future. They had the key to your heart. Even with seduction, snake, key on a string, it's like this person could do no wrong in your eyes, even though they broke you to the core. You sat there reminiscing, nostalgia. You could have recently come across some things of this person, let it be photos or come across their socials, or even found some things in your home that used to belong to them. There's something about your nostalgia and wanting to make new memories, even with all the mess that's tied to this situation. Engagement ring. Yeah, you've always hoped your ending, new beginning, that you would be able to rebuild again. One more. Wow, so you really were on a path of creating stability and foundation when this has all happened. And I think this collective, you've had so much endurance here and you've really held that line for a very long time. I'm seeing my 9 of Wands. No matter how much this has broken you, no matter how much silence, no matter how much time away, no matter whatever, it's like your heart, it just feels like it's hasn't been able to move on. And even though right now I'm reading you, like I said, it's like you think you have strength here. It's like your inner soul is still not completely there just yet. Okay, you need to trust the universe with this one. Got a very big lesson before this even comes close to approaching you. They want to see you know your strength. Okay, again, there's been a lot of time. You didn't get anything about soul connection or twin flame here. So in this very moment, maybe like the intensity I feel that you've had for this person, I think for a long time you did see them as some form of soul connection. But now that you're trying to really stand firm, and like I said before, in right now is you're like, yeah, I'm firm, but it's in here that says differently, right? So I feel right now the right collective, you're detaching from the label, you're probably even questioning if this was ever a soul connection, okay, here in the forefront of your mind. All right. let's break this down. I actually want to get tarot. I want to get specific. I want to see this spy, water sign, like their connection to you, and then we'll see kind of universal guidance for this situation, and then we'll see how it ties into this other person. All right. Sneaky. Water sign, spy. Connection to this collective. Okay, so you've had a separate, so it's like another, there's a reason I say everything, it's like a blast from the past, but the past. All right. It's so odd because I feel this is why this person's approaching you. It's like from separation to wanting to reconcile some things or heal some things here with you. You could have really met this person. I'm smelling it's like that karmic catalyst, more of a longer term connection. Okay, I'm hearing 7 years specifically. It could be like quite a long term connection. You could have really been planning even a future with this person of some, I feel you lived with them. But when you met this person, I don't think you were completely aware of the person you were meant to be in life. You're presenting like a page, okay? I think this person met you when you didn't understand your soul and your true needs and wants in life. This person in the moment of meeting them, and especially if you stayed with them for how long I'm feeling you stayed with them, you saw them as an Ace of Cups. You saw them as, this is it. Like, this is my person. I think when this romance, it was like a whirlwind for you, but you clearly, I think you were drawn to them because of the attraction. It's like you didn't even really know about soul alignment at this time. It's like you guys couldn't have been more different, but you were so there was such a magnetic pull with this person, and karmic energies are definitely like that. I always say karmics are so pivotal. We've all been karmics for other people as well. That's past life connection, just like divines are, okay, just like soulmates are. There's very big lessons to be learnt from these connections, and that's why we're so drawn to them. But when we're a broken person and we don't really understand ourselves to the depth of the core, we really can just be blinded by that pull and that attraction, even if we're not aligning, even if there's a lot of arguments, even if it's very turbulent, very up and down. We're not trusting our intuition. We're not knowing our self-worth, and we're like, yeah, that's my person, even though it's the most frictional relationship in the world. And I feel this collective, maybe you were also this person to you, you know, those connections, it's like every time you argue, it's like, I don't want to be, it's like you break up like a gazillion times, but you're never really breaking up. It's just like you're always threatening that towards one another. A lot of ups and downs in your relationship, okay? I don't think it was just one separation. I think this was always brought up when you guys were in conflict, or get out of the house, it's like, it seems like one of them, okay? But again, in the moment, you didn't see it like that. You genuinely loved this person, okay? And this is also why I say just deviation for a reason. Love is love. And when we're in love, especially when we're putting up with that shit for however long, it's actually coming from our trauma or our external attachments, right? So for this person that you actually crave, let's take this person out of it, for them to have really awakened you to your codependency and abandonment in life, right? That means you had those same qualities with this person. That means those qualities were forever illuminated in this connection. Karmics, we can get actually so blinded to our trauma, because I always say, like, I compare it with divines. I say divines can't be manipulated. You can't, karmics, you can call a gazillion times and this and that and fight and get back together and this and that, because it's such a pivotal lesson your soul needs to learn. And this is why karmics are normally long-term connection. They're very hard. They really have to break you to the core and treat you like absolute rubbish. And you need to stand there and take that rubbish and put yourself in that situation, because it's the trauma build-up that your soul needs to finally break, right? And understand your trauma when the divine comes in. But anyway, I feel this collective all the energy and all the trauma that this person made you reflect on and finally start putting that finger back at yourself was so deeply set into this connection. But because it was karmic, you both excused each other's shit day after day, and you were refusing to leave because of the trauma, the abandonment issues, the fear of what comes next. Maybe it was you were financially dependent on this person. Maybe you lived in their home. Maybe you weren't the most successful. If you were coming out as a page, when you met this person, you were just finding your feet in the world. Okay. And I actually don't think, especially because it came out like this, let's actually go to the separation. It's like when your final separation came, you would hit your brink. It wasn't brokenhearted. You were probably thinking, I'm out of here. It didn't swallow you whole because you had run the duration of the lesson. You had run the duration. So it's like you fell out of love when you left, right? So even though it was so intense when you met them, because there was so much, and feeling a very dogmatic, combative, very hurtful kind of, always attacking each other's character, moral evaluations, you're this, you're that, like one of those connections. It's like when you hit your brink, when it got to that point, you actually felt like you could breathe again. So it was like, and for me to be going into such depth, I always say as a reader, I'm not here to confirm how you feel. You've clearly reflected back on past heartbreak, especially with this person, and thinking, I've just been able to walk away from people in the past. This person, I could never. I feel this other person, you left in the midst of being in love. You left in the midst of this, which you did experience with this karmic, but it burnt out because of all the grievances, right? It was like, even though maybe it was inflicted on you, or maybe you chose to leave, or it was a mutual thing, you had gotten to the point, it was okay. Like your heart wasn't broken because of this separation. Does that make sense? And again, the Rat Collective, you've reflected on it. But this person, this spy, this water, this sneaky, maybe even with that person, if you really reflect, you might have, even though I'm saying it ran its course, if this person's presenting sneaky, but you were kind of like, thanks, I'm out of here, this person clearly left you with proper lack of closure, or why I'm seeing it was abruptive, maybe towards the last year of it. It was just unbearable, and you knew something wasn't right, even the more detachment, but it's like you didn't care because you were already checking out. So a lot of people, and I see this in the divine community, the lack of closure, leaving in the midst of the love bubble and this and that. It's like, that's my twin flame, but you're being left in the middle of love energy, which is very hard to get over. And this is why I also say a lot of people can get very blinded by the label of divine twin flame because of the way it exits. And if you were promised engagement, commitment, and I'm not saying it's not divine, but explain the process of heartache, because when engagement and foundation and all of that is promised, I bring this up all the time. True heartbreak, leaving in the midst of a love bubble, leaving in the midst of future planning, 4 to 7 years to get over that. But it's like people don't give their heart and their mind enough patience to get over heartbreak. They need to put a label on it to understand why they're in pain. What you've clearly experienced with this other person was painful. It was gut-wrenching, but I just find it very funny how these two energies are aligning for you, because there's a far greater lesson here. Because like I said, I actually think this person embodies pretty much all the same qualities, but because it ran its duration, it's like you're over it. So you're like, boundary, ew, I got the ick with you. Like, but because this never ran its duration, you're still like, like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Hopefully you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so you thought it was a 10 of cups for so long, but it wasn't. It was a imbalanced, broken, discord, inauthentic relationship, a false sense of security. So even though I'm seeing long term, I was saying future planning. Maybe this person flat out said to you, I don't want to be married to you. I don't want to have kids with you. Well, it's like every time there was an argument. So the reason that came to my mind, it's like there was so like in your soul, right? So even though it was inauthentic, you were still like, oh, that's my 10 of cups. I've been with you for this long, so this is just, we're going to get this out of this, right? While you were still stuck in your trauma with this connection, right? But it was never authentic. And isn't it funny that this other person was promising you the world, but same energy, they left. So it was a false sense of security. This mustn't have been as authentic as I thought. There was an imbalance. There was a misalliance. I hope the right collective, you'll know what I'm trying to get at. It's literally, I can see it as I'm reading it. Same emotion when you met both of these people. Same emotion, but it's like you've forgotten that because this ran its course and this one didn't run its course. Okay? It's like you've forgotten how much you genuinely loved this person when they entered. They were your Ace of Cups. You literally thought them to be your 10 of Cups, even with all the shit. And it's just like this other person. I guarantee when I tap into them, you would have felt the exact same. Okay? I think this is what you guys were always struggling to find, harmony in your connection. Again, I felt that at the start. This person feels very chalk and cheese to you. Very different needs and wants, different hobbies, different interests. And that's not a bad thing. I think, and I find this with actually a lot of true divines, you really are like yin and yang, but yet you are like two peas in a pod. Where this, I don't ever feel you were like two peas in a pod. You were just polar opposites. Like, that's what I feel. But again, because you were so blinded by your trauma and the attraction and the magnetic pull, you weren't seeing the warning signs here. And because it was karmic, even with warning signs, always make up, break up, make up, break up, make up, break up, argue. Oh, we're okay. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So they were Seven of Swords, your whole relationship. And that's how you see this person now. So this spy, sneaky, they were cowardly, false pretenses. They would betray, but maybe you never knew because, again, it's funny because this specific page, this is about study of magic. So this is a lot about spirituality and development. I don't think you understood who you truly were when you met this person. And I always say this when I'm reading people coming into their gifts. Some people don't know how powerful their intuition and deep instincts are. So if you find you face a lot of conflict with certain people and you're just like a dog with a bone with things that keep getting denied, it's like your feelers know there is dishonesty, but because you're not trusting this eye, the eye that matters, it's like you kind of take things at face value, but the same argument always comes back up because your intuition is telling you this person is Seven of Swords in you right now. Okay, and I feel from the start of this connection with this long-term karmic, there was always shit in the background, but you were blinded to it. Because again, you were seeing them as your Ace of Cups. You were seeing them, and that doesn't just have to be cheating, but I just mean there was always some things. There was always strategy. This person, it was like they never showed you their true self. Even probably when you left this, you were like, did I ever really even know this person? It's like you were such a lost soul when this person was in your energy. But by the seams from what I can feel, and I will get this other person, same warning signs, okay? But you weren't as emotionally developed and aware for when this person entered. Again, smelling like the karmic catalyst, the one that eventually breaks us. But a lot of self-interest. So this person, very selfish. There could have been cheating. This card specifies cheating, but you didn't know it. And a lying and mask. And if this person was being a little bit at the start of this connection, but they worked out quite quickly they could get away with it with their argument style with you, right? So if you can go back that far and remember, I think from pretty much straight off the bat with this other person, it was very accusatory, right? But this, and they could have said this to you, if you keep accusing me, I'll start doing it. It's like they were already doing it, but they kept getting away with it. Remember, dog with a bone, dog with a bone. But however they spoke, their strategy, they would get away with it and you would believe it. But your inner soul never believed it. So it got to the point, especially if it was years, 5, 6, 7, 8-year relationship, it's like you probably left thinking this person never cheated on you or was being deceitful through this relationship because they knew how to get away with it because you were so blinded to your emotion, okay? There's a reason this is coming to my mind. And cheating doesn't just need to be physical. It's like, I always say, emotional cheating is just as bad. This person wanted to be with their friends all the time. You know, it starts so little. It starts with maybe flirting with people at work or, you know, being a bit more excessively nice to the women around you. Then it can turn to, you know, maybe a secret dating. So it gets progressively over time worse, right? But I'm going to be honest, by the looks of this sneaky person, this water sign, from pretty much right off the bat, they knew how to wear their mask with you. They knew how to get away with things from you. You seemed like you were very kind of onto it, but they knew how they could deny it. All right, it's like they knew your traumas if they knew it or not here. They could feel it. It's like they could feel you had abandonment. They could feel you were codependent, and it's like they just played on that if they knew it or not. Okay, not intentional. Karmics, again, you're not self-aware. It's not intentional. Just the subconscious programming that comes in. So no wonder this collective, I reckon you'd have the ick with this person, like, because it's been so much time past, okay? Again, this person ain't even on your energy radar. They're like a lost thought for you. So this is what trauma does. I have a feeling I've got some people watching this that are in a karmic relationship like this because, again, blinded by your trauma. You thought it was Ace of Cups. You're in 5 of Cups the whole time. This reminds me of a connection. You'd be lucky to go 2-3 days without an argument. Grief, sadness, loss, mourning, emotional baggage. It's like you knew it was painful, but you were still trying to see this as a 10 of Cups. It's like there was always... You didn't trust yourself when you knew this person. Okay, I think this is the person that broke you into your divine frequency to welcome. I don't want to call this person your divine just yet. I need to get into it. But I really believe this was finally the relationship that broke you to the core without you knowing. Which means towards the end of this relationship, you would have started delving into spirituality, watching tarot, buying tarot. Like, this is the karmic catalyst. So it wouldn't surprise me if with the layover, hear from this person, learn the lesson to understand what lessons need to be learnt with, but we'll get into cards. 3 of Swords. That's what I feel. When this ended, you were like, woohoo! Complete renewal. I actually feel when this came to a close, you started to realise, what the was I thinking? I can actually breathe again. Complete renewal. It was I don't want to say it was an abrupt change, but I think it was, like I said, I feel this relationship was doomed from the get-go, but you both were just, it was a very valuable karmic lesson you both needed to learn in this life. And I will say this is coming to my mind for a reason. These are the connections that treat you this horribly in this lifetime. This is what you did to them in past lifetimes. Which means, I always say, when we go into a dream state, it's to clear off karmic timelines. So it's like, you know, those dreams where exes pop in or certain things and you're not proud of your behavior. Or let's say you've had a lot of dreams about this person and they're always like excessively lovey and you wake up like, why am I dreaming of that person? It shows in other lifetimes timelines how this person was so doting on you and maybe you didn't treat them the best. There's a reason this is coming to my mind. You guys were a very big karmic lesson for each other. There was a lot of karmic clearing that needed to be done. Our dream state is literally to clear timelines, and we can, very special people can dream future timelines, the prophetic dreams, okay? But again, abrupt change, total overhaul. This person changed you. In the moment, you didn't realize it. You didn't realize it in the moment, but you were progressively evolving in the last 1-2 years of towards the end of this connection. over and out, break up, then you found a new start quite quickly, which wouldn't surprise me if it was this person. But as soon as you let go through this ending, a brand new beginning started to evolve in your life, which means soon as this block was removed, maybe you got a beautiful new home, maybe you got a very successful job or a promotion, or it's like you're like, as soon as you chose to put yourself first, your luck started changing. Maybe met your divine quite quickly. Okay, Ten of Cups in reverse. It's like the universe finally rewarded you. You chose you. Took a while, but you can see yourself now. So again, then when you reflected and you went, oh my God, am I effing crazy? And P.S. the separation with the Scorpio, and we saw what, don't make this reading fit. This is clearly a very important reading for someone. With the water confirmation. Okay, so underneath the Ten of Cups in reverse, you started to reflect, how did I see this as an Ace of Coins? How did I stay so long? I nearly lost a decade of my life. Unstable. Caution, under review. So you did revise, but I think, again, you didn't feel heartbreak. You felt stupid. You were like, what have I just done for the past few years? I think this is what came after this separation. I think it's more you started to harmonize your environment. Yeah, that's when it finally got out of your storm. You let go. You were like overcoming hardship. Finally, conflicts resolved. You started to become properly stable. Okay, restoration of peace internally. Started to realize how heavy this person. No wonder this person ain't on your energy radar. It would be like sayonara. Okay, let's just quickly see what this person's intention is with this approach, why they're coming through, because I feel you've learnt your karmic lesson, so I don't know why this person would be coming back around. If anything, it's tied to this other situation. Maybe there's one more lesson to learn, okay? I just want to see their true intention here. And actually, let's see how, I just want to get 3 for how they feel for you, and then we'll get their true intention. Normally when a karmic's gone, they're gone. Like love-wise, even family members, those people that finally detach from certain family members, it's like once they're gone, they're gone. I always say karmics in love and in friendships, family ships, once a karmic situation is severed, it normally is completely recycled out. So, like unless there's... Stop! This feels like a reading I did ages ago. I'm literally seeing the reading in my mind. And I swear it was this... I don't know if they can't. Could they? Unless they are actually connected to a twin and they're starting to go over their behavior and reflect, and I can't see how they would see you as their twin flame unless they're delusional. But if anything, maybe they're connected to a runner. If they were very detached from you, I always say this, the roles reverse in life when you meet your divine. So maybe it's, if they've activated into a divine feminine energy, you don't need to be a female for that. Remember, you guys, when you guys activate your empathy, your understand, it's like it all, you start to go into deep reflection. Could just be an apology, but that's a bit alarming. Something to do with family, so maybe you had family grievances with this person as well. Maybe they want to speak about something to do with family. Why do I feel it's more them coming towards you for advice or something? To really see if you've learnt on compassion and unconditional love. I always say love is not just for the person we're in love with, but if this person's needing understanding and direction, hold on. I keep hearing the word advice. I actually feel this person is more seeking you out, maybe for advice or remorse and an apology. something about the rejection, either the rejection they're facing or how they made you feel. I think this person, I actually feel it's more just taking accountability for emotion. If you saw them as a, but this is so weird. Now I'm getting confused. Remember, this is the one, but they're, I said the sneaky, the spy. Why do I feel both of these energies attached to you? I don't think this long karmic catalyst ran from you. Unless, like I said, they're attached to a runner, so someone's running from them, right? And they've got the guilt, the remorse, they're activating the empathy and understanding to their bad behavior in life, and they're wanting to just come in and apologize, or they need some advice or something like that, right? But then as I'm reading this, so I'm reflecting back on the question I'm asking, and I'm just me sitting here, I'm a bit confused because I think this person and this other person, their energy's a bit kind of, and you could have said that to this other person. Maybe this other person really reminded you, let it be appearance or certain personality traits of this past person. Hear that plane? This part would be stumping you because it's stumping me. You were probably, as you're watching this, the right collective, as this was coming out, you were probably thinking, is it this person feeling like this, or is it this other person? Because that's kind of in the mind frame I'm in. Let's just get one more. They have a constant burn. Let it be for you. I feel they're more seeking you out for this. I don't want to say your magic, but it's like they know you might understand them, or they know you might be able to give them some good direction, okay? Or if you do practice some form of magic, or, you're connected to divinity, divination, maybe they might be seeking you out for that. I do feel they have a constant burn, let it be guilt, remorse, but I also feel they actually have a constant burn for someone else, okay? That's what I'm feeling. So I don't think it's this person wanting to come back and be with you. I could be wrong. I actually feel it's more maybe a bit of guidance, and again, remorse, removing some guilt for their behavior, okay? I want to read that. Okay, let's just get one intention, and we're going to, this is going to be a long reading. We're going to confirm this other person, but I need to make clear, this other person, you're not in alignment yet. I think there's a few more months here to wait for this person. This is your chapter that needs to come in first. Okay, there's clearly something that still needs to be severed with this karmic person. Hasn't completely been done. Yeah, this person's free will. So I don't think and you would probably remember them like that as well. Karmic partner. I don't think it's them. I think it's more confirming karmic situation. I don't even want to read this because I think it'll confuse. I think that's more confirming what we're saying. There's still something in your karmic contract here with this person that needs to be severed. Okay, the right collective, this will all be making sense. Don't be making it fit. I do think this person is not wanting to come in. They're still kind of in this kind of energy, and I think this energy is kind of what put destruction in your connection when you were with this person. So it's not just about putting up boundaries, it's also planting seeds for this person about their behavior. You've got to remember, when we're coming into self-awareness for the first time, we don't know all the answers, okay? Yes, we start to realize the things that are holding us back and certain trigger points, but we still can be a little bit blinded to our internal triggers and our behavior that we put up towards others. So just because this person is coming through, with remorse or seeking advice, I don't even know if they'll ask for advice. I think they're still kind of maybe have a bit of their ego around them. It's not just like accepting an apology. If you spent this long with this person's in your life, and yes, it didn't go well, and yes, I think they broke you, and there's a reason I say everything. You've got to remember, I think this collective, you have broken this person multiple times in different timelines. It would be quite easy to not respond. It would be quite easy to just say apology accepted. You've got to come from the lens that everybody in this life deserves to have love. Everyone in their life, especially when it comes to unconditionally loving someone, this person is clearly broken. And if you were someone that's truly on the divine journey, you understand this. So maybe give them some advice, even if they don't ask. We both did wrong, but just personally, I want you to be happy. But certain behavioral traits that we embodied together, and I know we activated and triggered one another, but this used to always put uncertainty in me. Is this maybe some of the things and qualities you think might have put some friction and barriers between this person and this person on their mind? Actually help guide them, even if I think they're a very proud person, but there can be a very beautiful lesson and a big karmic clearing that can happen with this next point of interaction. So don't see it so surface level. This clearly needs your focus. This is like a puzzle piece for the right collective, okay? And it shows you, you know, those moments you give advice or you have a really powerful conversation, let it be with a family member, a friendship, a loveship, a work colleague, whatever it is, a stranger. And you walk away and you just feel good. And you're like, wow, one, you know the conversation went right. It impacted you as much as it impacted that person. It's like a relief that comes over you. Is that the right word? There's a reason I said it. It's like you have that potential to both walk away from this in a very having a very clear outlook on something, and you finding, holy moly, I've got such power in my voice and my maybe constructive whatever it is. It's gonna form some empowerment of perhaps, and we'll get into it, what may come next with this other person. Right, collective, you'll get my drift, okay? I think this is more confirming. I don't even think this is about them wanting to reconcile. I think they're going to present more just quite apologetic for their behavior. But I think inside they really want advice and guidance. But I think they're a bit prideful still. And I don't think it's like you're going to have to see through a situation a little bit. Okay, it's not just going to be put on your... It's like a place from empathy and understanding. Okay. It's actually going to make you feel good if handled right, all right? So don't be like, blah, or just see it differently. Very valuable test. Okay. Let's see this other person. Like I said, right now, you guys aren't on the same page energetically, so I can't see this coming out the most pleasant right now, but let's just see. All right, this other person, I'm going to say that's still baking. That's what I'm going to say. Maybe you're baking a cake, or you want to. Their perception. That's funny, because that's your last card from, it's like it trailed on. So the harmony, the situation resolved. So the right collective, you'd still be watching it. It was literally a transition, which in my mind, what I heard straight away, this was the person that you're actually stressed about, your heart's involved with. I think this was your next relationship after this person. Maybe you wanted to get back out and date. You could have had a few dates, but I always say true divines, it's more of a serendipitous kind of interaction. You really see through your meeting that it was sent from the universe. So even if you were dating on like dating sites, I don't think you met this right person down that avenue. Right, collective, this will make sense. Hold on, let's just... So it was very overly emotional. It was also quite a manipulative relationship. I think you both were still at the point of not complete healing. It was very when there was friction. It's like, and I always say this, when people are in conflict and you're in that emotion, you have your truth, they have their truth. It's the last point, especially when you're not emotionally aware, to try and solve something, because you can't deny someone's truth as they can't deny your truth. They're those moments you need to let it simmer. You need to overcome your emotion, ride the wave, come back to your table a week or whatever later to try and come to a compromise when you're both emotionally balanced and you have understanding for each other's truth. Okay? But I feel with this connection, it was kind of, you hurt me, it was still, when it came to communication, it wasn't good. It started to feel one-sided, and that makes sense with why you think this person used you. You could have been maybe more of a provider, or you would always, take care of the bill, whatever it is, or even with emotion, I think you felt quite misunderstood, as this person would have felt misunderstood. I think maybe, again, it feels quite short-lived. I feel you were trying to plan a foundation even with this kind of behavior. It'll never work long-term. I think you both were a little bit foolish when it came to one another and one another's emotion, and you would have picked up so many bad habits from this past karmic, because people rub off on you. So from what I can see, this past karmic was more of a silencer. They were just very, especially if they were a Scorpio. I actually say Scorpios are normally very, very loyal people, but once a Scorpio starts to detach before they leave, so normally when a Scorpio is, they've checked out of the connection so a lot longer before they actually exit. So this is where the silent treatment, the stonewalling, it's like you get no emotion out of them. Once a Scorpio checks out, that a Scorpio will not return. So it's very surprising if this person is wanting to rekindle with whoever else is, like, that would be big for this past person. But I feel you had picked up a lot of their traits, because that relationship, even though you were detaching, it really affected you. So you yourself in this connection could have actually started embodying a lot of their emotion. So I always say the tables, I said it before, whoever's the avoidant one normally gets the chasing veil. Whoever's the more anxiously attached, the more doting one, they normally get the avoidant veil on the divine journey to teach you guys different lessons. So let's just say when you first met this past person, and for the right collective, it all makes sense because it's the embodying of energy I'm trying to make clear. You could have really shown your codependence, your abandonment, because remember I said this person, it's like they knew you were anxiously attached then, even though you would have had avoidant traits yourself. You would have been avoiding people in your family, your friendships, your work life, your whatever, but because you had heart trauma, when it came to the person you're in love with, you probably thought, I'm an anxiously attached person, but that was your codependence and abandonment, right? But because they never really put up with that shit from you, they would just always argue and you'd have disagreements and this and that. Yeah, you stayed together. But you actually, towards the end of that connection, you probably started, without you even knowing, embodying the silence, the avoidant, the stonewalling, because this is what was forever being shown to you. So it started imprinting on your subconscious programming, because remember, 66 days to create a habit, but if that's forever shown to you, it starts to imprint without us even knowing, right? So when you met this new person, they would have shown you the version you once were. So they would have been anxiously attached. They would have been very kind of always in your energy. What's wrong? What's this? You would have seen. You would have been starting arguments over nothing. Like, you just would have seen your reflection, your past reflection in this new person that you're feeling used by, right? And you would have started treating them how you were treated by this past karmic person, because nothing was healed. Nothing was healed through that. So there's a reason I'm saying this. So even though this felt very different and you were finally feeling validated and seen and this and that, you would have had warning signs straight off the bat by literally seeing yourself in this person. Holy moly, this is so broken. It's like, but you still very foolish approach to this, because once again you had fallen short to the magnetic pull. We say the difference with divines though They illuminate everything that needs to be healed. So we have the karmic catalyst, and we still have not completely put that finger back at ourselves. We feel better. We have started to open up our frequency, right? But we still haven't started healing. And this is when the divine enters. It's normally very short-lived because they don't want it to get to the point of tarnish, right? So they show you how you should feel, but it's still a little bit off balance. It's still not completely like fairy tale. There's a lot of friction, right? But it's when that sudden exit happens in the midst of your love bubble where you guys become a complete mess. And this is when you finally, for the first time in life, turn your finger back. I am this kind of person. I'm that kind of person. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. That's why normally the feminines, you take on all the responsibility and the burdens of the heartbreak. You completely blame yourself, right? I need to be better at this. I pushed them away. I did this, I did that. When that's not the case at all. You were both at fault. You both needed to heal. But it's just part of the process. This is why I say you all have phases that you need to overcome, right? But anyway, deviation for a reason. Even though there was all the same warning signs, you fell short once again to the magnetic pull. You weren't putting up boundaries. You were still excusing shit. You hadn't healed your abandonment or codependence. So as this person started pulling away, even though you entered this more detached like your past person, once they started pulling away the validation, they're constantly doting on you, they're constantly going back and forth for you, this is when your past trauma started to kick in. So instead of letting them, when they wanted to run from a fire, run, you would chase them. When they wanted to start unnecessary arguments and take off for a few hours, well, instead of just realizing, holy moly, this needs a boundary. So where in your mind, you're reflecting on this thinking, you felt used, you felt this, you felt that, because it's been so long you've held your heart space. This person in your relationship, because you were a detached lover, felt used, felt it was one-sided, felt like you didn't value them, felt like they were always trying to create harmony, always trying to see your needs and wants, trying to bend over backwards for you to make you happy and see them, right? So everything you're feeling right now, this is what this person felt to be able to walk away from you. This person doesn't love me the way I love them, right? Another reason tables need to turn. So right now, you're feeling what they felt to walk away from you. Make sense? It's funny, this is coming to my mind, so maybe you watched this reading I did yesterday on YouTube, and someone wrote a comment and they said, why do you tell feminines that they need to find themselves and be one and to come into inner union, but yet you're telling this person you've got one person cut from the same cloth? Firstly, that's not what I said. I said we have multiple soulmates and karmics, but I believe my universal truth. We truly have one person out there that's cut from our same cloth. The masculine I was reading yesterday didn't understand the power of love, the sanctity of love. They were still in the mind frame, plenty of fish in the sea. They were just transitioning. Where the feminines, you guys are completely reversed to your masculine's journey. You guys learn the power of love, the appreciation of love straight away. And that's why you guys come into fixation and obsession. The messages I give for my feminines is to break you out of obsession, because you all need to get there. These masculines need to find their obsession. That comment just really, it actually upset me a little bit, because it means, again, sometimes people are so, it's kind of that, oh, but you're different people, you're different energies. That's why you have to come into your balance, your internal yin and yang. The tables need to turn. The masculine, and there's a reason I'm bringing this up, the masculine in yesterday's collective, they've never understood the importance of what a soul connection and soul vibration is. That's why that message was given to that masculine yesterday. But even through yesterday's masculine collective, towards the end, I was telling that masculine, you need to focus on yourself before you focus on anyone else. And this is what I mean about discernment. People just listen and hear the things they want to hear and get very triggered by it. You are not your masculine. Your masculine is not your feminine. Yes, you're cut from the same cloth. You're different people. I talk about not overgeneralizing all the time. People have different lessons. People don't think like you. People don't have the same lessons as you. Even when it comes to your divine, yes, you embody some of the same lessons, but at different time periods. Okay, there's a reason this is coming up. But anyway, this connection, it made you both feel inadequate. It filled you both with self-doubt. And in the moment of your separation, you knew it. You would have had a moment of thinking, I didn't see this person till it was too late. And now, unfortunately, in the nicest way, this beautiful collective, it's like you failed to forget how much you truly hurt this person. They were trying to offer you the world, but the only world they knew how to give you at that time. But the world they knew how to give you at that time, you knew in your inner soul that world wasn't enough because you both weren't developed enough. So, trauma, when we feel it, what comes up? Our defense mechanism. And this is why they were triggering your defense mechanism that started to accumulate from this past long-term relationship, because your inner soul didn't feel safe at that time, but you didn't have the communication tools to see, how can you be offering me this, that, and the other when you still don't, they didn't have the capability in that moment to give you that. And you didn't have the capability to receive it. Yes, you might have wanted marriage, kids, this and that. You weren't the person you needed to be to make that thrive in that point. Neither was this person. But your trauma was trying to make a puzzle piece fit in a piece that it wasn't meant to fit into just yet. You were both leading by trauma. So both of your emotions are valid. It's just right person, wrong time. Makes sense? But this is why the feminines, you get so angry for waiting for your masculines. They come... Everyone deals with hurt differently. Clearly the person on your mind, the way they dealt with hurt was by removing you out of sight, out of mind. It's the only way they knew how to deal with it. Okay? Doesn't mean they're wrong. It means they need to overcome their own trauma response. This is why I say just focus on yourself and your own internal union. So it projects onto them through your threads. Make sense? Alright, last one. Wow, so this says in a month. I was feeling 3 months. Okay, so there is emotional awareness and a climax, a completion of cycle. So this past person, they're a very valuable key and puzzle piece, if you know it or not, to this person, and healing and awareness and emotional acceptance. And maybe even hearing their perspective and it might put some pennies into you and drop some things here to help you relieve resentment or frustration. The right collective, you're so resentful and frustrated right now because still you're not seeing it clearly, okay? But this is going to help you bring a cycle in and move on from truly what needs to be closed off, okay? One more for this. Love this. It's all part of your soul contract. And this is why the world is so mysterious and magical. The wheel is at play. Trust. Deal with this other person properly. Okay? Find the lesson in it. Alright, I just want to see how this person is feeling right now. Alright? And then I'm going to see... because you're just so angry at them. You think that this, they're that, they're this, they're that. But anyway, let's see how they're feeling about you right now. They would have things brewing in them right now. If this is wanting to come around very soon. So they're going over the rejection of... This is what the other person's got. Remember I said, I'm confused here. They so interlock. The other person got those cards as well. But they do want a new start and beginning. There is something very weird going on with these two people's energy. So they're going over the rejection, maybe certain... So if you had family grievances with this past person, again, things repeat. There would have been family conflict with this person as well. There would have been lessons. Why am I hearing mother? Maybe there was some mother issues with both of these. Or maybe, and I'm hearing this as well, maybe when you were in these connections, in the moment there wasn't mother issues. Maybe there was a bit of distrust. Maybe you always felt like these mums were enablers. There's a reason I'm saying mums. I feel that's another cycle in itself, but it may be... after the fact, for both of them, you could have maybe really tarnished your view on these people's parents. Again, trying to validate and find excuses for your person or this past person's behavior when it's their decision for their behavior. Yes, trauma, but we should never, and I see this a lot, and I do pick up a lot of trauma from family, I get it, but you don't want your brain to go there. You don't want your brain to be like, it's because of their mother, it's because of their father, it's because magic was involved, it's because of a third, like, you don't, why do you do that? Like, it's just not healthy for your mind, okay? There's a reason that came to my mind. But this person, they're going over the pain and the rejection. They are going over some form of family blockages here. And again, if you guys were planning engagement marriage, maybe they're going over the family that could have been with you. Right now, as we're tapping into them, they do have new start and wanting to take a leap of faith. But this other puzzle piece is what's holding it back. Remember, I always talk about everybody's... So when we sign our soul contract, it's not just our karmic cycle, it's the people that are signed in. And I have a feeling this other person, this person, and it's like you all need to go bing at the same time. Makes sense? Wow, that's good. I don't think you feel that. I think they have been healing. I think they have been reflecting. Divine Masculine at the bottom, that's nice. They could see you as really been healing. So they're going over their red flags with what they've done here. So they're not blaming you. They're blaming themselves. But then that makes them think that maybe they're destined for rejection. So they're not in complete belief about... I think you're really overcoming them right now, but they're still in that kind of mind frame that they're, I'm not going to lie, trying to push you away a little bit. When they think of the new beginning, the fresh start, they go into, how will this person ever accept my behavior? So they're sensing that you will have boundaries. But the thing is right now, and this is where this all led from, the right collective, you think you'll have boundaries, but right now your energy shows that you won't. This is why it's so important with what's... And it's not... I know I'm saying you need to understand. I don't know why people think boundaries is like, no, you're this, you're that. That's not it at all. But it's learning to put space between a situation. It's learning to be able to have spontaneous expression and be proud of how you feel, and not let this person's emotion override your emotion just because you're wanting this person by your side. It's learning to have strength in saying, I know I treated you not the best way. Unfortunately, it's the only way I knew in that moment how to treat you, and I take accountability for that. But that does not excuse how you've treated me. This is how you've made me feel as well. It's learning to speak and not have fear by putting up a boundary and having spontaneous expression and speaking your needs. Someone's going to run away, because then that's still your abandonment that you're trying to heal. Your codependence on the outcome. I'll silence myself so they stay. I'll pretend to be this so they stay. I'll wear a mask and pretend I'm so they stay. Do you know what I'm trying to get at? This person has an expectation that you have found your voice, where the thing is, you think you have, but you haven't. You can see it in your energy. And this is why this other thing needs to come. There's a big puzzle piece, and the more I'm reading, I think you actually find an understanding from this person, which helps you understand and empathize with this person's broken behavior. Not empathize to a state you lose your voice, but empathize enough to relieve the resentment of, they were stringing me along, they put me in a third party, they did this, they did that, to holy moly, we were both broken. I didn't see them, they didn't see me, because we couldn't see ourselves. I still love you, but you have hurt me. We need to build a foundation, strength to not rush it. A very big, important puzzle piece with this other person, so don't block it out just because you've got the ick, okay? Some depth of understanding that comes with that. So when they do come, you don't lose your voice. They have the expectation you're going to have a voice, but I think they have an expectation of explosion. So they're going to be highly like, whoa, they're not exploding. They understand. I did hurt them. It's constructive criticism. It's constructive direction for both of you, which opens up the line of vulnerability. Because if they see you have power in your true needs and wants, hopefully this person, the universe would be releasing it so they can speak about their needs and wants too. Family. Yeah, there's something about maybe family did affect the decision here as well. a little bit, but how you guys were rushing to do this, and I could see that. You were rushing your end stop. You weren't even, neither of you had the emotional capability to have this, okay, truly, for the right collective. So they are going through mother things. That's what I feel. There's something very big about a mother with both of these people, okay? I actually think this person's mother's a good person. I'm going to be honest, I think it's their mother that pushes them to... This actually reminds me of one of those mothers, those, you know, parents that they have they just want their child to be happy. So if their child's sad and hurt and broken, they're going to protect them. If they see that they're sad and broken over a decision, they're going to support them. I will be here to support you. Like, I actually feel this person's mother is actually beautiful, but unfortunately I feel this collective, I don't know if you think this person's mother enables, or I just feel they're very protective. I do think they're protective. So of course, if they saw your person was so broken, they would have given them advice to get over their broken heart. But if they're seeing that this person is wanting ignition, or they're going to give them advice to how to move forward. I'm not seeing like a narcissistic mother that's, you know, really like jealous of the women around there. Like, I don't see that at all. I actually see someone that's actually quite understanding and just protective. I think the word is protective. So I don't know if this woman, this person's mother had to take on both roles, the father and the mother in the relationship, or if the father had addictions or was a bit kind of wild. I just feel this, and I say this to my single mamas, you guys are my mama bears, you're my protectors, because you take on the role of both. There's a reason I'm delving so much into this person's mother, because I think the right collective, you have unnecessary grievances that you need to reflect on, okay? So it's you, they see you sparkle, and they have seen you heal. So again, they have this, but then, like I said, they're expecting some form of boundary or ignition. So by you, if they already think you're doing this, but they have still a bit of a subconscious program of, but see you react like this, and that is going to solidify as a perception, because it's like 50-50. It's like they don't even realize that there's still a bit of a broken perception about maybe your temperament. But again, boundaries are not, it's just learning to communicate clearly and with strength. And when something doesn't feel right, to not silence yourself because of someone else's needs and wants. Okay, one more. And so it's coming over them, except unexpected right now. Unexpected, not caught off guard, surprise. I think when it's time, this chapter comes first for this collective. All right, I just want to tap into a month from now, what their intention. This isn't about action with this person. I said it at the start. You've got this other thing to worry about first. But let's see what their intention a month from now will be, because their emotions are already developing. Oh. I feel that's them coming in, putting in it. They're seeing you as their magical muse, so you're inspiring them. Chaser, I think that's more, not I'm going to chase them, but ready to start putting in effort. Month from now. Oh my God, you got it. So the twin didn't come out for them. You got to wait a month. So there's big things going on. So for this next month, don't be holding on to pain and time and anger. Don't expect anything. Like I said, this person ain't moving forward. You've got something else that's moving forward first. So this needs to magical muse, twin flame chaser, their energy towards you in a month. Green tick. Okay. Let's get one more. Then they're actually past life connection, future focus. They'll finally hit the send button from the unsent message. Okay? You just have to believe and trust. Trust that the universe works in mysterious, magical, beautiful ways. Okay? And remember, everyone gets on this divine unconditional love, blah, 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 but then people that need it, you forget about. Love is not just about being in love. There is someone that was an important chapter of your life that I feel needs your help and guidance as you need theirs without you even knowing, okay? All right. That was a long reading. Let's just get one of these for you. A message for you. I think from both of them. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with a light. I love you. Sacred union. Sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship as it's truly sacred. Playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together and in life, okay? And remember, love is the greatest healer. This is beautiful. Forgiveness first for this other person, okay? Stop focusing your energy on past events. Who cares? Let it go. Let it go. For life is too precious. Just sit in the now. Sit in your day-to-day. Sit in your day-to-day. Okay? You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. Just how you got a lot of big blessings when you finally released what you thought was this karmic, and your blessings came in pretty much simultaneously because you really passed a big pivotal point of your soul contract. What's going to happen this time if you again head and pass this lesson with this karmic energy? Think about it. And I always say things work in cycles. How many months did it take for the right collective, don't make it fit? When you left this person, how many months till you came into union with this person? Because that's probably kind of the timeline you're looking at, okay? Give or take a couple of months. Just remember that. Talk about cycles all the time. Wow. Oh my God. Stop it. You got both of my St. Jude pins. So you, this person, these other two, they're not a lost cause. There never was a lost cause. Okay. You've got luck on your side, the elephant. World is your oyster. So we've got M, J, N, P, V, and S. Signs. You'll be getting a lot of signs right now, but maybe you haven't allocated your signs properly, because I think the universe is trying to prepare. This is a big cycle, so they'll be trying to prepare you for it. It's a very big puzzle piece key that can be granted. Yellow wax. Maybe you got a yellow candle going, and then you're protected. And the golden butterfly. Very nice. All right, birthdays, angel numbers, or important memories to do with both of these people and yourself. Oh, 6. All right, that's kind of on a tilt. Oh, and then it went to 8. 7th of the 8th, 8th of the 7th, 8th of the 4th, 4th of the 8th, 7, 7. 24th of the 7th, 24th of the 8th, 15th of the 5th, 15th of the 7th, 40 by itself, angel number 40. 8 by itself, 1st of the 5th, 5th of the 1st. 808, angel, 8, and then I flipped that to 28, 20th of the 8th, but 888 you could be seeing a lot of. 14, 14th of the 2nd, 14, 14. All right, my loves, I love you guys. I will be on YouTube as well. I'm going to do a clarity reading over there. I'm thinking I did what I wanted to do over here. Remember a couple weeks ago I did divine masculine, divine feminine perspective, what you think they feel versus what they really feel, which means you're both connected, but that was for anyway, we'll get into that over there. That'll be a little bit later today. I love you guys and have a good day.